Okay, so we've talked a lot about strategic planning, but guess what? If we don't do something about it, strategic plans are nothing but words on a wall or papers in a filing cabinet. Really, what we're leading up to for habit number 8 has to do with action. Habit number 8 has to do with putting things in action, making your mission happen. And this is probably one of the key parts of this whole strategic activity. It has to do with action. Now, what are some tools to make sure that we're taking action? And this isn't just a lot of theory. Here's some suggestions for you. Number 1, why not have the pastor appoint, or someone, the board or anyone, appoint a strategy officer and a small team to work on this kind of thing. It's unlikely that the pastor has the bandwidth to do it, him or herself. So they'll need help. So some members do this as a part of their actual work, their profession. Try to get someone to come in and help put together this strategy in a way that lifts some of the load from the pastor. Other tools. Make strategy a part of your board agenda. The last item on the agenda? Absolutely not. It should be the first item, because if you're serious about mission, everything else on that board agenda should be pointed in the direction of mission and strategy. These are concrete things you can do to make sure you make this stuff really happen. Something else you can do, another tool, is following up on your meetings. Every time you say something or vote something in a meeting, a board meeting or other meeting, what's the follow-up? Who is to accomplish it? By when? Make sure someone on that committee is your follow-up hound to make sure things get done. And what else? Another tool, strategic calendar. I don't mean a calendar with all the stuff that goes on in the church. A calendar that's just looking at strategic kinds of things to make sure we get this thing implemented in a good way. So that's part A, tools for monitoring. And there are other tools as well. I hope you read the book, Becoming a Mission-Driven Church. Pacific Press came out in 2015, 240 some pages of distilled ideas and wisdom. Get a copy of that book, please. It's at the bookstore, Amazon.com, and you name it. So number A is tools. Number B, or I should say letter B, is execute. Now it's time for the whole church to get involved. I really feel that every church, at least twice a year, should have a whole church missional event. Maybe it's an evangelism campaign. Maybe it's a health emphasis. Maybe it's a vacation Bible school. Whatever it is that's big and broad, and it would be wonderful if every church department could contribute toward that missional event. So if it's evangelism, it isn't just about an evangelist coming to town or even the pastor, but it's the members that are a part of this whole thing. It's total member involvement, if you will. Okay, A, tools. B, execute, missional event. C, you need to evaluate progress. What gets measured, someone says, gets done. Or what we measure, we treasure. We could also say what we treasure, we measure. We gotta measure it. Okay? A dashboard helps the board to know what is actually getting done. And is it being done on time? Now, what's the impact? That's another question we have to ask. Are we making a difference? So we need to find ways to get information to show that our mission is being impactful to these mission fields. Our community, is it being impacted? In what way? Do we have examples? What about our church members? Are they becoming more engaged? Do we have information, objective information about that? How many of them are participating as opposed to sitting back and warming benches? What about our church attendance? Is that improving? An example of church health. What about phone interviews? What about focus groups? What about records and trends? Are you seeing an upward tick as this church becomes more mission driven? And then it's a great idea, last of all, to have a report on mission accomplishment. At the end of every year, why not have a report as to what has been done and let your entire church resonate with this movement that is taking over? Habitate is the heart and soul of a mission-driven, excellent church. May your church experience the joy of whole church mission.